After 3 months of use, would I still recommend the Milwaukee dual battery chainsaw? This is model number 2827. And this is a tough one because Milwaukee says that this saw is comparable to a 70cc saw. It is not comparable to our Steel 362, which we tried that out. We did a lot of different testing with this, including up against a Steel battery saw. The torque of this saw is absolutely amazing. Now this is a 36 volt saw, and if you buy it in the kit for $899, it comes with 2 Forge 8 amp hour batteries. The first thing I want to say is don't use this, in my opinion, without Forge batteries, because while it seems like the battery life is good in the beginning, when you get out in the real world and start cutting some trees down, they quickly use the batteries up. And I'm talking about small poplar. I'll give you an idea. We were doing a video on a brush grapple and we cut down some of the dead poplar that we had around. We are not cutting these up into small pieces for firewood. They're 8-foot chunks, and we ran out of battery after cutting down and chopping up 4 trees. That was 0 limbing. That basically cut down a tree, cut them up in 8-foot sections, and we were out, which surprised me. So we had to move up to the 12 amp hour Forge batteries, which here this one says it's still full. So does this one. We cut down 3 trees with that, which is odd, but it just is part of the torque that this takes up. And this saw has some serious torque, and it doesn't cut out. It will actually, like a normal gas chainsaw, you'll hear it kind of bind, and you'll hear the motor whine before it turns off. Very slick, very, very slick. So while we're talking, I just want to start taking this thing apart. And one of the main things that I think is really nice, we have an onboard tool. Now, if you've watched any of our other videos, we have upgraded this saw to a steel chain. And I think that that is something that is almost necessary. We went through, we put a full chisel chain on this, and it changed how the saw cuts. It actually wants to dive into the wood, dig through it, where when we first got it, the saw kind of was lazy. It didn't really want to go into the wood. You almost had to push it, which you really don't want to be pushing your saws. It wasn't unsafe, but in some ways it just felt like because you had to push it, it was a little bit unsafe. One of the things that I've noticed with this saw, and you can see it here, is the amount of sawdust that it seems to like to collect in this area. This could be from the chain. I don't think so. I would just assume this is it, but you can see we have holes in here, and we're actually getting wood inside the holes behind the sprocket. Not a big deal, but this guard here is just packed, and it doesn't seem to clean out. There's a little bit of oil that's in there. We do have a lot of crud inside there. We're gonna clean that out. It's just interesting to me how this chainsaw works, and I have 0 complaints other than it is very, very heavy. And even though this guy weighs somewhere around 20 pounds with the batteries, and you pick it up, most people who are not used to this saw go, whoa, what are we doing here? Because it's fairly significant. I actually, as a gas saw preferred guy, pick this up and use it over many of my steels. I even have a 500i, and I seem to pick this saw up over top of that. At least in the winter time, it's easy. I go out, make a couple quick cuts, and I'm not doing anything for longer periods of time. If I was, I definitely wouldn't pick this up due to the weight, since it is more heavy than most of the other saws that I do have. That is water, in case you're wondering, not oil. That's gonna be from having it out in the snow, which is interesting too, because it did this yesterday in the back of the Gator. It was leaking water. So it must have enough water inside the case for some reason from being out and being used. So I'm getting water inside. That is unknown to me. The saw is kept inside, and it's used in the snow, but we're not talking about major water. So very interesting. The weight on this saw is the biggest factor. When it really comes down to it, are you able and wanting to use a 20-some pound saw every day? This is not the first time I've cleaned the saw, but it is the first time I've taken compressed air to this just to get it cleaned out. And if I hit compressed air into these holes, this area here, or anything like that, I'm getting a ton of dust back out. Sorry I didn't film that, but I would highly suggest making sure you clean this up with compressed air quite often. For the amount of dust that came out, it's eventually going to get into the chain brake. It's eventually just going to get places and pack itself in there where you don't want it. And that's interesting because that could be where some of the water is going if I'm getting quite a bit of dust out of there and it's just packing it full of water. And when I look at this bar, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like there's any lack of oil, and it's not full of anything down here, which I was a little surprised at. We have a little bit of our oiler that is full. So I should have been seeing some oiling issues just due to pretty much how packed the oil hole is here. I wasn't. Maybe I was just getting that towards the end. Hard to say, but she's packed. I'm going to go blow this guy out also. So there was definitely some gunk in there, but it wasn't nearly as bad as what I expected it to be, which is fairly interesting. Now, when it comes to the weight of this saw, this isn't a saw that I would probably hand my dad. And I hate to say that, but it's battery, it's easy, but at the same point, it's got a lot of torque and it's heavy. So once you start getting to the point of using this guy, and it isn't right for everyone. And I think that that's a big concern when you think of, hey, this is a battery saw, and you know, we're buying it for convenience, but then it weighs so much, mostly due to the two batteries that are on it. But if you compare that to an Ego battery or anything else, you know, it's still very significant in weight. So things I'd suggest: don't buy this unless you're really up on wanting to use something that has some torque but is also quite heavy. Also, don't buy this saw if you plan on going out in the woods all day and cutting down and bucking up a lot of trees. You're talking about a lot of batteries. Even the 12 amp hour batteries will run out fairly quickly, even though you're going to get, I don't know, 20% more runtime out of them. That just goes away pretty quick. So when you start to look in the grand scheme of things, how much money you can put in batteries, it becomes a large amount. But you can use them on other tools. So if you have the tools and you have the need and the want to buy the batteries, this saw has actually been great. It is something that I can't complain about. I like the trigger. I'm getting very used to the safety where you have to push over the front. I do not use anything more than wide open mode on this guy. I don't use the medium mode to save the battery. I know that's going to chew up batteries faster, but I want the power. When I'm going out, I grab this saw, I expect 70 cc gas, which I know it's not. I expect 60 cc gas power out of it, and I think I get that, but I'm running her wide open. And that's how it is. So I think running it less than that, I don't feel the need to want to pick up a battery saw. That's because I have a lot of large gas saws to choose from, and I just want this to perform like it does, which might be how you feel, might not be. As far as limbing, the full chisel chain makes limbing kind of a pain in the butt, but it works. If I'm doing little tiny limbs, the Semi-Chisel chain definitely is much more easy to use. It doesn't want to bite and then kind of jump a little bit if you get into 4 or 5 branches where you're in a bushy area of a tree, or if you're cutting down bushes. I've not had the chain come off of this yet. Everything seems to work fine. I haven't had an issue where you're getting into multiple little limbs and it pulls the chain off. Nothing weird, nothing out of the norm. This has been a great saw. $900 sounds like a lot, but how much are 2 Forge batteries? So if you need to add the Forge batteries to your tool lineup, you're paying like $400-ish for the saw. Not horrible for what you're getting. If you compare a $400 saw out there to some gas models, you're getting more power here, I would guess. I think that's a great way of comparing what you would get. In my opinion, a $400 saw doesn't get you a whole lot anymore. It sure used to, but anymore, those prices have gone up. Let me know what you think. Battery operated saws, I get it. I feel like we're just on the cusp of where they're gonna really start to get good. We have to solve the runtime issues. We seem to be getting to the point where the occasional use guy has enough power, but the runtime is still there. If you had a big tree come down in your yard and you needed to take care of it, you're gonna be doing a lot of battery charging to get through this. Steel says their MSA 300 is one battery pack of the AP 500 matches up to 1 tank of fuel. I don't know if that's actually true. It is not true here. That is for sure. Not true on this guy. Either way, comments below. Give us a like on this video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.